What's up, guys? Oh man, yeah, I like this video.
Bruh. Look at this dude.
What's up, guys? Today's video. Yeah. Okay. What's up, guys? When the video here, you see some supermarket horror stories animated. So supermarket. It will be quick because it's 8 minutes, and this time I want to edit it. Oh my god. Oh, it's a height.
Recently, a small supermarket was built in my neighborhood, and it is also the first supermarket built in this area, so people here are very curious and frequently visited it. Inside, it's similar to many other supermarkets. However, after only a few days of operation, the supermarket's customer base gradually decreased from a crowded supermarket to an empty one. Every morning the toys in the children's stall were discovered lying on the ground, strewn about. This infuriated the investor, a wealthy woman. She has repeatedly admonished the staff, but the same thing keeps happening. Her eyes raged at the supermarket manager, blaming him for not managing his employees well and blaming the employees for being lazy and refusing to clean.
Lazy? Oh, maybe she's wealthy and she's lazy. Maybe she's the lazy one.
The manager was also taken aback when he heard this. He tried to explain the toys issued to the investor and explained that he tried himself, but he couldn't fix it. When the investor heard that, she assumed that someone had broken into the supermarket late at night and attempted to ask the manager to find a solution. Initially, the manager was also perplexed and disturbed. He stated that he checked the camera at the supermarket every night but had yet to see anyone, because these toys had been used continuously since the supermarket opened. So his words to the investor were like an excuse to avoid responsibility. There was no other option. The investor threatened to fire the manager if he allowed the situation to continue without investigating the cause. Seeing this, the manager promised the investor that he would instruct security guards at the children's stall every night to investigate who had tampered with the goods in this location. He finally persuaded the investor after a while. So tonight was the first night that security guards would be on duty at the supermarket. The later the atmosphere in this place became cold and gloomy when the entire area inside the supermarket sank into a strange silence. When the supermarket closed, they began to turn off the lights. There wasn't a single person in the supermarket aisle. 2 security guards were stationed here overnight. They had to check around the supermarket and then sleep in the children's stall area according to the manager's orders. They both went to the toy section to look around. Inside, all of the new and used items had been cleaned and neatly arranged on the shelves. One guard prepared a place to sleep, while the other used the time to look around before taking a nap. They would spend the night in the warehouse, which was located opposite the children's stall, to facilitate inspection and to catch red-handed the vandal. After a long period of no unusual movement, one of them became tired and felt sleepy. They both spread blankets and pillows on the floor and placed them next to each other. Their attitudes were unconcerned. Before going to sleep, a middle-aged security guard made a joke that when there were both of them sleeping there tonight, nothing would happen. When the other person heard this, he felt relieved and fell asleep. The current atmosphere in the supermarket fell into silence once again. In the middle of the night, when it looked like nothing would happen, a ghostly phenomenon appeared. The sound of children singing resounded in the supermarket's quiet space. The black shadows clearly imprinted on the curtain in the darkness of the night when the two guards were sleeping for a while. They were infants who had just started walking. They walked in a long line, babbling children's rhymes as they made their way to the toy store. The singing startled the guard, who opened his eyes and looked behind the curtain. When he saw the black figures approaching, he turned to wake up the other guard sleeping next to him, telling him that the bad guys had arrived. The two quickly grabbed the flashlight that had been left nearby and went to the children's stall, hoping to arrest the vandals that had been hidden for so long. For fear of making a sound and causing the culprit to flee, the two crept up, walked over to the thin curtain nestled behind it, and slowly lifted the curtain to observe. Children in small clothes appeared in front of them. They were mischievous, competing to remove the toys from the shelf and play together. The children were unaware that two guards were watching them from behind, so they were free to play as usual. Their eyes glowed so strangely and monstrously. A guard noticed the scene and thought it was bizarre, not knowing where these children had come from, so he planned to run over them. But as he took a step forward, the children's faces appeared in the dark with strange horror expressions, as if they were ghosts.
You have 10 minutes to finish your research. You rush into searching on Google, then you find a title that sounds credible. You enter the page and start reading with all your attention. By the time you read,
the guard covered his mouth because he was shocked, and he didn't know what to do because he knew these kids were not human. However, the guard in the back was terrified and couldn't help but scream out loud. The children's attention were immediately drawn towards the scream. They were startled, stopped their games, and turned to stare at the two guards with black, lifeless eyes. Both guards were impatient enough to hide and watched them at this point. Their faces turned purple from fear, and they could only scream and tremble. When the children realized they were being watched by humans, their expressions changed immediately, becoming angry and revealing devils' faces. But they also knew there was nothing they could do about it, so they disintegrated into grey smoke and vanished. The toys in their hands also fell to the ground one after the other, resounding with frightening knocks. The two guards realized they had just met baby ghosts, but had no choice but to sit close together, shivering and muttering mantras to protect themselves, wait until dawn, and then move on. The next morning, the two security guards told the strange story they had encountered to the supermarket's manager and investor. It made everyone concerned. The owner of the supermarket seemed to know something ahead of time. She immediately invited a shaman to perform an exorcism and prayed for the dead babies in this location. After that night, the supermarket also blocked the children's stall. A red ribbon was stretched across the front of the stall, and no one was permitted to enter. The investor sighed and recalled when she was asked about what caused the supermarket to be haunted by the dead. She claimed that the supermarket used to be a private maternity hospital of a doctor. Everyone in my neighborhood was familiar with this hospital. This location was well known for abortions. The fetuses would be cremated after abortion in the hospital's secret morgue, which was now a children's stall. No one dared to approach it for a long time because it was full of evil spirits. The employees who worked here later died for various reasons. As a result, the hospital was demolished and sold to the owner of the supermarket. But the dead remained.
Oh my god. Was that children's hospital or something? Boy. That's one of the weirdest videos we have ever seen. Wait, look at the head who got ripped off. That's really violent. And there's a Squid Game. Yes, Squid Game. And wait, what's your number one? She's the old girl? Okay. Old lady. But that was an old man, not old lady. No, and she doesn't look old. Okay, guys, I hope you like this video. It's really dark. Look over there. Look at those things. It's really dark. Shut up, I'll see you on. Stop acting like a baby, like you or something. What? Okay, guys, I hope you like this video. Please subscribe and like and ring the bell. Oh my gosh, it looks really red. Oh yeah, like subscribe and ring the bell. Bye bye. And subscribe to the whole channel.